what does it mean to feel love, hate, happiness, sorrow? All of these things are emotions. And what are emotions if not feelings? We feel emotions because we have feelings. But what does it mean to have feelings? Well, it's not exactly something that can be described. However, feelings are something that can be expressed. So how do humans express their emotions? Well, there's laughing, crying. But in my opinion, there is one way to express emotion better than any other. As the great emotologist Gerard Arthur Way of My Chemical Romance once said, there is no greater way to express emotion than through the emoticon. I mean, come on, it's literally in the name. Though as much as Gerard got right in his lifetime, he was wrong here. Although I don't blame him, he was simply a product of his time. Since then, a new invention has brought to us a far superior form of emotional expression. This invention has become ubiquitously known as the emoji. The Emoji movie came out in 2017 and was rejected by critics and mass audiences alike. I've had a really hard time reconciling this. Popularity is clearly the most obvious and useful metric in determining how good a piece of art is. So does this mean the Emoji movie is bad? Well, no, because I like it. This means the conclusion I'm forced to come to is that this movie was either too far ahead of its time, or there's some kind of conspiracy trying to keep this film from being seen. Either way, I'm here to get to the bottom of it. So without further ado, let us begin. At the start of the movie, we're told that in Textopolis, all the emojis have to be displaying their designated emotion at all times. However, our protagonist, Gene, who has the role of the meh emoji, struggles with this because he finds the world to be so exciting. Now, the reason I'm highlighting this is because there are some very hateful and spiteful content creators on this site, not naming names. But there are creators on here that will tell you that your emotions don't matter. And they would ask questions like, why would they need to be expressing the required emotion at all times and not just at work? Or how do emojis even have children? And are they just assigned an emotion at birth, or are they at least given the time to develop a personality? Well, dear viewer, I'm here to tell you that those questions don't matter, and that your feelings are cute and heckin' valid. Because by asking those questions, they miss the point the film is trying to make. Some people even go as far as to say that this movie is just a big advertisement, which to me is just a ridiculous complaint to make when you have season 8 of Game of Thrones, which was essentially just a big Starbucks ad, and everyone seemed to love that show. But what we're really being told is that Gene is trapped. He's been forced into a world, into a mold that doesn't fit him. Emojis are made to express emotions, not keep them bottled in. The reason I said that I don't believe mass audiences were ready for this movie is because it does something that I've never seen done before. It gave our main protagonist flaws. This movie took a risk and didn't make the main character perfect, which is unbelievable to me. When I watched the sequel trilogy, I never understood the hate for Rey. When people called her a Mary Sue, I would always respond by saying that's what a main character should be. They should be perfect because I don't want to watch someone fail. That would make me sad, and I don't like being sad. And as flawless as that argument is, I love what they did in the Emoji movie because I enjoy it. And it shows us the struggle the emojis on our phones go through every single day just for us. It brings a tear to my eye. High Five is a character that has an unbelievably incredible arc. His journey rivals that of Jaime Lannister from Game of Thrones. High Five goes from being selfish and self-serving to being selfless and the best friend anyone could ask for. And then right at the end, for no reason whatsoever, he goes back to being self-centered. It's beautiful because this is how humans work. There's no rhyme or reason to why we change. Sometimes we just do. Really, when it comes to movies, the only thing that matters is where we start and where we end up. Everything else has never and will never be of any importance. The next character of importance is Jailbreak. Jailbreak is a character that truly deserves to be up there with all the greatest strong female characters like Rey, Captain Marvel, Mulan 2020, and all the rest. I'm almost certain that if it weren't for the rampant sexism that occurs in our society, Jailbreak would have been the next feminist icon. She's one of the few actual feminists that understand that you can't change minds through reason or argumentation. If you want to get your message across, the best way to do it is to make baseless accusations, and then when they're refuted, don't elaborate any further. I honestly believe that if we could all take this message to heart, the world would be a much better place. However, the characters are not the only thing that make this movie so special. Every frame of this movie is a work of art. The animation style is absolutely stunning, the way the colors just spill onto the screen like the blooming of a rosebud. Just look at the scene where our heroes are trying to make it past the firewall. The way the oranges and yellows contrast the white and blues, it just makes me feel so much feelings and emotions. There's nothing like it in the modern age. The soundtrack as well, my god, I swear nothing comes anywhere close to being as good as this movie. Whoever was responsible for putting this masterpiece together deserves every award in the book. I would never have been able to put together a playlist that contains such classics as Feel This Moment by Pitbull or Nyan Cat Theme by Nyan Cat in the same movie. But they do it, and they make it work so well. It's truly unbelievable. Now I need to talk about the most important part of any story, the story. Right out of the gate we see that all Gene wants is to be a good emoji. He wants to be able to be the meh he was always told he was supposed to be, but that's not who he is. He's a malfunction and he can't help expressing all the emotions he's feeling. And this is a message I fully agree with and believe the film executes perfectly. If you are different, you should be ostracized and treated differently. So right out of the gate we have a +1 for the film. We then get to meet Gene's parents, who are the perfect mehs. They are everything Gene aspires to be but perhaps can never achieve. This is his driving force throughout the film. He wants to live up to his parents' expectations. He wants to be accepted, and he's willing to change everything about himself in order to achieve that goal. In fact, I feel like this movie draws inspiration from, and in many ways surpassed the film American Psycho. I see many parallels drawn between the characters of Patrick Bateman and Gene. They are both characters, and they both are willing to change anything about themselves in order to fit in.
Because I want to fit in.
And while I think American Psycho is a fine film, I feel as though the Emoji Movie does a better job of getting the viewer to understand the point. That emojis are cool and good, and we should use them more. Gene then goes on to have his first day of work, and this is where we first see him fail. I know I talked about this earlier, but this is such a defining moment for the film. This is what sets him on his journey, and I honestly don't think anything like this has been done before. I don't know where these writers got the idea to have an imperfect or flawed protagonist, but my god does it work incredibly here. But this is what kicks him off on his epic journey, where he goes from being willing to give up everything about himself to being able to accept himself. This movie is truly a journey of self-realization for every single one of the characters. I talked about Gene already, but Jailbreak realizes that maybe being a strong-willed feminist isn't really what she wants, and that it's okay to be a princess and wait for her prince. High Five learns that it's okay to be selfish as long as you have friends that are willing to put up with it. Even Gene's mom goes through this journey. She realizes that her husband has been lying to her for their entire relationship, and this is the basis for why they get back together in the film, which to me is just amazing. Seriously, Gene's parents have a breakup scene, and then the next scene we see either of them, they get back together. And I'm just blown away by these writers' ability to essentially fit an entire side story into 2 scenes. If that's not efficiency, then I don't know what is. I truly hope I've been able to convince at least some of you watching that this film truly is a masterpiece. And for those of you that haven't been convinced, I just hope you can take the time to look inside your heart and ask yourself this: why am I filled with so much hatred? Because I truly don't understand how anyone could hate a piece of art that is the truest, most genuine form of emotional expression. Seriously, I would love for someone to try to find a movie that does a better job of portraying emotions in a personified way. Nobody? No takers? That's what I thought. It's literally impossible. And even if you could find one, I highly doubt it would be anywhere near the level of quality this film is at. Well, anyway, that brings me to the end of my review. The rating for this movie was an easy one. There's no way in hell I would give this film anything lower than a hard eyes emoji out of 10. That's right, get wrecked, haters. Thank you to all my beautiful subscribers, and especially to my patrons. If you enjoy my content and you don't give me money, then you're not a true fan. But yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing here. I just ran out of things to say, but I still gotta stretch this bad boy to 10 minutes, so just bear with me here. Oh, you know what? Here's a preview of some of my band's soon-to-be-released music. Enjoy.